I would like for you all to ask yourself, what inspires you? What is the influence in your life that has given you direction? We never really know where life can take us. Your next job, the next restaurant to try. Just how great would it be if we had that little bit of direction? I needed it. When I graduated high school at the height of quarantine, by watching my name fly by on the local news like it didn't matter. That was my graduation. We entered this new era of education, and not knowing where the world would go, I decided to enroll in college. I decided to major in biology, not knowing science and what it can do. So when my first college semester came along, I was again lost and discouraged to start my classes. Now, I'll say this was fall of 2020, so you can picture me rolling over in bed and joining a Zoom call from underneath the blankets. And quite personally, there was no better place to learn about cells and small molecules. More so because my intro biology professor made learning fun. She had taught with a kind and welcoming heart, and her passion for education and inspiring others into STEM had touched my heart. She taught me to love biology, and because of her, I really wanted to emulate her teachings. I was driven to surround myself with similar mentoring relationships, and that's when she blessed me with the opportunity to assist her class. Then things really took a turn. That's when my life in STEMtership began, better known as STEM mentorship. My newfound passion drove me to explore science and has since led to some exciting pathways. I became the first ever freshman teaching assistant in my department, tutoring for the same intro class that I was once in, this time helping students understand the material. Deep down, however, I really wanted my peers to find an excitement for STEM like I did. So, I grew my platform to start inspiring others. And I started here through research. Here at Bowie State, I found more new mentors to join projects studying bacteria, plants, and expanded my interests. I continued into our local community. In my first year summer, I got to explore the Patuxent Research Refuge, working with very cute little turtles. In my second year summer, I wanted to see the communities outside. So I interned and explored the University of Virginia School of Medicine, studying breast cancer. In my third year summer, I was a bit afraid to go farther. But it was worth it, as I paved way to intern and explore Harvard Medical School, studying our immune system. And each time that I explored a new place, I came home to Bowie State empowered with new ideas that came from distant people and distant places. My new mentoring relationships were guiding me to opportunities that would build my STEM enterprise. I began traveling to national conferences just to talk about my work, like the Leadership Alliance Symposium, being our HBCU's sole attendee 2 years in a row. And my efforts were becoming recognized with awards like my College of Arts and Sciences Outstanding Scholar. And I realized that my mentoring relationships were slowly directing and shaping my identity. Along the way, I realized I became like them, a mentor. Because all the while in the past 4 years here that I've been at Bowie State, I persisted in my teaching and outreach efforts. While I was being mentored, I continued to mentor others. Initially, I was this freshman teaching assistant helping students pass their exams, and they did. But over time, I've later transitioned to use this role to make science fun and interesting for others. This time, helping my peers find their scientific path. Now, as a growing scientist myself, I'd like to next share scientific support on why I believe mentoring matters. In 2008, author Lillian Ebby and her team performed a meta-analysis on the effects of mentorship in youth, academic, and workplace settings. This being one of the first comprehensive literature searches on this topic, they screened 15,000 articles and finalized thousands of sample groups to observe the outcomes of mentorship. And in their data, they found trends to suggest and accept hypotheses that mentorship had a positive influence on motivational and career outcomes. In a more recent analysis, Van Dam in 2018 reported similarly. Observing 63,000 individuals, they found that mentorship had a positive influence on academic and vocational functioning. And as the reader and as the audience, we should consider what mentorship has to offer. This value in being either a mentor or a mentee. We need to learn from others and reciprocate that learned wisdom towards more. That's why I made the push to start mentoring as early as high school students. For the past 1 year now, I have been working with the United States Army Educational Outreach Program to provide STEMtership to younger students. My team and I would go into the classrooms of nearby high schools to give these fun, interactive lessons like hypothesizing evolution through DNA or sharing success stories of diverse sciences. My team would use this opportunity to provide this form of mentorship, being there for the students one-on-one, through these lessons or through conversation, uplifting and encouraging their pursuits. And all of this has been successful. When after our first program, one of my students came up, sharing the heartfelt note that we inspired her to push toward a STEM future. We opened her eyes. It was a really beautiful conversation and realization that we could empower the youth just from this mentorship. Mentorship for me has certainly directed and uplifted my life. From being mentored to now mentoring others, I learned to discover so many things. I learned academic teaching. I learned scientific research. I found passion. And I'm happy to share that the community that we've had here, the mentorship that I've had, has led me to my next step, directed me again to attend Stanford Medical School for my PhD. The same kid who didn't know much science 4 years ago. I believe mentorship can be influential. I believe that it can provide direction. And I hope that sharing my success story may show to you all that mentorship can really start anywhere, with the person beside you or within your heart. And it can end up reaching for the stars.